I had no idea that this place existed until I helped a family member find their adopted mother. During the process of finding her, I found out a lot of information about this facility that really made me raise my eyebrows. Laurelton Village was built in the 1920s. The facility was for women between the ages of 16 and 45. They were considered of a feeble mind. They were in a childbearing age, as the name says, and they were committed there so that they could not produce offspring and have their offspring bring feeble-mindedness into the world. Several women doctors were brought into the institution, one of them being Dr. Wolf. She was the head supervisor of the institution. She was appointed by Governor Tenner, who was the governor at the time. Laurelton Village was a self-sufficient facility, meaning the inmates took care of all of the cooking, cleaning, farming, canning, you name it, they were taking care of it within the facility other than the medical treatment. Now, they weren't just confined to taking care of the facility. They would also have schooling that they would do and have different plays that they could do. Every year they would celebrate May Day and have big dinners and Christmas plays and bring in people from the community into the facility to celebrate with them. The setup of the facility sounded like a pretty great idea, being self-sufficient and taking care of themselves, especially being in a farming community. However, it wasn't until I started to really dig into what type of people they were having housed there that really started making me raise my eyebrows. As you can see, they considered a very large amount of women within Pennsylvania as being feeble-minded and defective. And yes, some of the women were considered delinquent and did commit crimes, but others not so much. They just gave their husbands a hard time. They were free-spirited, free-willed. They were promiscuous. They didn't really belong in that facility, so much so that they had many inmates escape. There's this one particular case with a Miss Clark where the judge actually found that it was inexcusable that Miss Clark was an inmate there for 28 years. They found that because she was inmate there, that it made her not be able to be a part of society, that they were the cause of her to be defective in a sense. Now, it was said that the women were being housed there until 45, but unfortunately, in the case of Caroline Roche, she passed away at Laurelton Village at the age of 49 of what they considered a heart condition. She was there for 11 years. I was also curious as to what services were being provided to the community and if it was being provided at their own free will. As you can see here, during World War II, they were outsourced to community farmers to do canning and farming. Over time, the facility did turn co-ed. Policies and procedures and who was in the facility did change over time. Eventually, the facility did close down in 1998. Now back to the family member. She was adopted. She's in her mid-60s. Her adoptive mom has passed. Her biological mom has passed. I did find her biological siblings. They all look alike. There's no denying that they are family. And the siblings were not aware that her mother at any point in time was at the facility. She was at the facility twice in her lifetime, and she never talked about her experience there. When she was there, she did have to give 2 of her children up for adoption, and she was married at the time that she was in the facility. So I can only speculate on the circumstances at that time, of when she was placed in the facility. Now, during my research at that time, Anne Leary was researching about her grandmother as well. She actually finished her book that she was researching at the time that I was researching. Her book is really good. It's called The Foundling. It is available on Amazon if you want to check it out. Not sponsored at all, but it is really good, and it lets you dive into her grandmother, who actually worked at the facility, and a friend of hers was an inmate there. So it gives you a chance to really dive in and immerse yourself into the times. If you would like to read any of the articles up close and personal, feel free to add yourself to my Discord. The link is in my bio. Or if you're on YouTube, the link is down in the description area. All of the articles, the Facebook page, the link to Anne's book is in there for your viewing pleasure. Thanks for joining me. Until the next time, bye-bye.